There was once upon a time this little girl. She was born in San Luis Potosí, Mexico, but she wasn't born in city, not even in a pueblito. She was actually born in a rancheria. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Actually, that's on top of a mountain. En la punta de un cerro, literal. So to this day, the only traffic over there will be cows and horses. So to this day, there is no electricity. There is no water. If you want to do your laundry, you have to go to the rio. If you want to take a shower, you will have to go to the river too. So this little girl was in the most extreme poverty back then. So she had big dreams, huge dreams. Her family moved to the city for better opportunity, as you all can tell. So she was 6, 7, and 8 years old, and even though her mom tried to put her to school, they couldn't because they needed money. They needed money to survive in the city. So the little girl went with her mom to work. Her mom was a housekeeper. So what would a 6, 7, 8-year-old girl would do? Guess what? She used to clean baby poo out of clothes and diapers.
Oh boy.
That was her job. So, but this little girl was so happy when she went to work. You know why? Because they gave her a delicious meal. And it was only pan bimbo with frijolitos and queso. But that was delicious. So this little girl was the happiest. But you know what? Who will ever thought that that little girl would end up being in the #1 rated reality show actually in the United States, La Casa de los Famosos.
Wow.
And who will ever thought that that little girl will someday be standing right here?
That's right.
In front of you all, telling you all, woo! Thank you. So I think when they asked me to come here and talk about, I think I'm gonna fail pronouncing failure. That is hard. That's hard for me to say. But when they asked me to come and talk about failure, I said, that is just a fancy way of saying mistake for me. So, oh boy, mistakes. I have made lots of mistakes. I'm going to start by telling you when I came to the United States. Obviously, I came following the American dream. Wanted to have money, wanted to go back to school, and I always knew that somehow I was going to be not only an entrepreneur, but someday I will be a successful businesswoman. So in order to get there, I will have to work really, really hard. But guess what? I came here, I met my husband, fell in love, and forgot about everything. So what happens then? How did we end up opening those businesses? Well, we work in restaurants. That's what I always did, work in a restaurant. So when we get the offer, taking over a business in Georgetown, obviously I said yes right away because I knew that was my ticket to be a successful businesswoman. So there we were. It wasn't just my work. It was my ex-husband and my work. But that restaurant is a success even to this day. So how did I end up? Men are so funny. They're weird. When they are poor, but when they get money, they feel they have all the power.
Yeah.
And they think they can have all the women they want. They forget that they're married, and they forget that we do not like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I got divorced. I left, and I left the whole business to him. So what happened? That was. I wouldn't say that I failed there. It wasn't a failure because I learned a lot. Yeah. So a couple of years later, I opened my second restaurant, Los Chilakillers Bar and Mexican Grill in Cedar Park. I was there for, let's say, 10, 11 years, but there I did fail. I made a mistake. Huge mistake. I trusted the wrong people. I trusted the wrong person. So, long story short, I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost my business. There's one day that I can remember, and I only had $5 in my purse. I had no place to go. So I rented a small room. I went back to work as a cook. I went back to work as a waitress. I was a waitress for almost a year at La Tapatia in Cedar Park. And I worked for a whole year at Truffle Kitchen at the Domain as a cook. Saved as much money as I could. So, borrow here and there and whatever I could. So, right on the middle of the pandemic, I opened Los Chilakillers. And yes, it was really difficult the first year. But guess what? Now, I'm so happy because now I can tell you that Los Chilakillers is a success.
That's awesome.
Just if you don't know the reason that I was in La Casa de los Famosos, there's a reason behind that. That is my dream, one of my dreams. If you don't know, you have to follow me on social media so you can find out. Because that dream, I'm thinking that this fall and this coming year, I'm gonna make it happen. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm gonna make it happen. And that, you wanna know what that is?
Sure.
I wanna give away a franchise to a woman to make her dream come true. Because nobody ever helped me. Nobody believed in me because I was a woman. It was so hard for me to open my second restaurant by myself. So I want to help one lady to make it happen. So thank you for having me tonight. It's an honor and a pleasure to